Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Friday, October 24th. It is the eve. It's Friday today, Lloyd.
It's Friday.
I thought all day yesterday
This was wild.
was Friday. And this is not a joke. This is not me just saying, being over-exaggerating. I legitimately, so Lloyd and I snuck on the golf course early afternoon yesterday with Chris Phillips from SEC Unfiltered. He's in town. And the whole round we're playing golf. Beautiful day. Yesterday was picture perfect. Like, this is what you want. Just felt like a Friday. Mm-hmm. And the whole day, thought it was Friday. My grandmother, my wife's grandmother is turning 100 today. Shout out to Mama.
Curtain call.
Shout out to Mama. She's turning 100 today. Her birthday is tonight. We are all going out there to celebrate, obviously, a monumental birthday for her. And so I was asked by Chris Phillips yesterday, hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, it's my wife's grandmother's 100th birthday. We got dinner tonight, thinking that it was Friday. The whole round, all 3.5, 4 hours. And then my wife calls me and says she wants sushi, and I order sushi. And he's like, hey, are you going to, don't you have dinner? And it just put my mind in a pretzel, and it was just, look, I thought it was Friday, and then I didn't know. And now I realized it was Thursday, and now it's Friday, and I'm glad we made it here. And some days, the days are just meshed together. It's just, it was one of those days. It was a beautiful day. It was a great day.
It could have been a Friday.
There are some other things that maybe contributed to the memory lapse, but we're not going to get into that. But we had a beautiful day. We have another beautiful day today. Hopefully tomorrow is a little bit more beautiful than is anticipated. There's some rain in the forecast for the afternoon, nighttime. We shall see. Hopefully it gets Louisiana'd and moves back and just dissipates or does some different things. But LSU's got a big game this weekend, obviously, against Texas A&M. They not a lot of positive conversations are happening around the Tigers and around the country, specifically around the program and the fan base. We're going to get into that. Brian Kelly came out yesterday and said, aha, we figured out why we haven't been physical. You're going to see much different team on Saturday because we figured out something that you're going to be pleased about, which I don't know at this point in the season, 7 weeks. At what point do you say, this is going to work. This is it. I don't know how you do that. Hopefully they did find the magic pill and everybody's more physical and it looks like a completely different team. We will find that out. We'll talk about that throughout the course of the show. The World Series starts tonight. Game 1 in Toronto. Game 2 tomorrow night will be Kevin Gausman on the mound. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of conversations to be had around the sports world. NBA is in a pickle. They going through, the FBI is rounding up.
Right as the season started.
Rounding up. That was strategic, right?
Yeah, it
has to be, right? NBA, FBI had an investigation in illegal gambling in the NBA. Terry Rozier got arrested for point shaving. Chauncey Billups got arrested for illegal poker games led by the mob. Wild situation to put yourself in there. And there's a lot more, obviously, that are coming out. We'll touch on that potentially. We'll see what happens, but it's a crazy story. Obviously, with legalized, this has always happened, but with legalized betting, it's a little bit more access to the betting world. And I think this was pretty anticipated as far as, you're going to have more of these things happen throughout the course of the seasons and as long as gambling is legal. So a lot to talk about. We have producer Lloyd, you've been here all day.
That's right.
You've been here all day in the studio here at Southern Regional Medical Center, our new home.
No better place.
We're starting to add some things to the wall. It just takes some time.
Right, but dude. Sorry, I'm zero again today. But we have a fantastic TV.
We have a fantastic
comfortable
TV.
Chairs. I'm just plopped down.
Yep.
Did a little research for the show to talk about Texas A&M for the umpteenth time.
There we go.
It feels like there's not a lot of positivity out there.
Not a lot.
But then
we'll try to spin it. We also are going to talk some gambling.
Absolutely.
We have
to find a winner, Bobby.
That has not been positive for us.
No, neither one of these
up to this point in the season. But it was positive last night. We had a text to us that, hey, this is the bet. It's a lock. I hate when the lock gets used. But he goes, this is a $500 play for me. I'm like, oh.
That's a lot of money.
He has a lot of money. He's confident in that. I threw 100 on it, and we won. It was the Chargers game last night. We won.
Took the over.
So this is we're moving forward. It's a good sign going into this weekend. But we're going to talk about our mic'd up parlay, talk about some of the other gambling around the country, around the SEC. College game day in Vanderbilt, I think for the first time ever. Right?
Probably.
Has to be for the first time ever. Congratulations to Vanderbilt. College game day would be in Baton Rouge had LSU won, I would imagine. They did not, so they are at Vandy. Much deserved. We're also joined by our co-host, two-time national champion, once in football, once in baseball. Right-handed quarterback, left-handed center fielder, top 100 football recruit coming out of Westgate High in New Iberia, Louisiana. Our co-host, our friend, our Texan, Jared Mitchell. Welcome to the show, Jay Mitch.
Damn, I ain't even been here at the full 365.
Hey, Texan. You're a Texan.
Damn.
You changed your license yet? You got income tax coach?
Not yet.
All right. Not quite a Texan yet. Not quite a Texan yet.
License plate?
Not yet.
All right.
Well, yeah, see, a license, but I think it all goes together.
All goes
together.
I would know.
When you change your residency there, that's what happens. All right, let's jump into this football conversation. So, you had some stuff. We've been talking about Texas A&M all weekend, right? I think the only thing that has changed up until, what's going to happen? We talked on Monday. We talked on Wednesday. I think the only news that has come out that has been a little different is it seems like Bernard Gooden is going to play. Obviously, Whit Weeks is out. They had 3 injured starters out last weekend. It looks like you're only going to have 1 out this weekend. He announced Carius Kern is going to start at left tackle. Bizarre, in my opinion. Bizarre. I'm not saying it's a bizarre decision because I think that we've seen Carius Kern. He's talented. He's athletic. He's tough. He's physical. All that kind of stuff. A little raw. But you've had 7 weeks. He's gone out there and played right tackle and replaced somebody. Didn't play terrible, right? SEC road start against Ole Miss. And then the other guy comes back, and this guy gets hurt, and you put in DJ Chester, and now you decide, hey, you're going to go out there, and you're going to be the starter at left tackle in Week 7. That seems like it should have been probably put out there earlier, but he's going to be the starter at left tackle over DJ Chester. We'll see what happens there. And then the other thing, and I think the most not necessarily most important, but probably the biggest conversation piece of this show is Brian Kelly came out in his presser last night and said that
I've got it for you right here.
Yep, let's do that. They found something.
Brian Kelly says on LSU radio that they've had to ask themselves why they aren't playing at a highly physical level and with a sense of urgency. I think we found the key to that, and you'll see a team that fights their tails off Saturday night, Brian Kelly said.
Jared, what's your opinion on that? As a football player who has played 7 weeks into the season, your coach says, "Oh, we found the key to why we can't play. We haven't been playing physical.
We haven't been tough and physical."
Man, who knows exactly what he's trying to talk about, right? Like I find it hard to believe that that's something schematic. I do think about this when I sit there and think about where they are and what they're doing. Was that 1-0 mantra a first game of the season mantra, or did we drop that after the first loss? Because it feels like that should have been something that you're kind of pushing and going forward, making sure you want to talk about all year. Now, maybe they are. Maybe they just don't. They ain't wearing the shirts anymore. Maybe that's where they're at. But it feels like we almost left that. It feels like there's some kind of urgency that's left, and it feels like now he's trying to say we're back on this urgent mindset of what we need to be. I hope that's not what it is, because it doesn't make any sense of why that would have left even after one loss. But here we are. You're sitting in a spot where a lot of people probably see it as you're fighting for your job already, or a lot of people see it as, well, you're going to lose this one. Go ahead and lose a fourth and see if you still have your job.
Correct, and that's a problem for me, right? Like, hey, if you're going to say, oh, we've lost, now we're going to have to coach with a different sense of urgency, that's not the right mindset, because you can't say, oh, well, we're struggling, now we're going to change things and we're going to coach harder, we're going to be more physical because we're panicked because my job's on the line or everybody's – you should coach every week like your job's on the line if that's the case, right? Like you shouldn't it shouldn't take you struggling and doing the same thing over and over and over for the last 5 or 6, 7 weeks and saying, okay, now it's time for us to change it or find the key to being physical. Listen, I hope that they look a lot more physical. Me and Lloyd had a conversation yesterday after I was on the phone with him. And the question is not about can they or can't they, right? Like physically, they are able to throw the ball down the field. Physically, they are able to block. Physically, they're physically talented enough to do that, right? There's some teams out there that like physically are not talented enough to like a quarterback's not capable of they don't have a deep ball, right? Or the running backs or offensive line is just not capable because they're not talented enough or whatever it is. LSU is capable of doing it. They just have not done it, right? They haven't done it consistently. They haven't done it in a way that you expect them to do it. But as far as saying they can't do it, I think that's the wrong point. They just haven't done it, and it doesn't seem like they are trending in the spot that they will do it. But can and can't, like physically able to do it, absolutely. Are they going to do it this weekend?
Talented enough to do it.
Talented, because which means they're physically able to do it. It's just for some reason they have not done it.
I think that's the frustration with this team is that you heard about it all offseason. You saw what you went and got out of the portal and everything that you've added, and then you have a head coach that's saying, taking receipts, we'll see you at the national championship. And then you have a big-time win over Clemson, and at that point of the year, you finally do go 1-0. And it's like, oh, okay, maybe they kind of do. They have something figured out. And then you have the frustration of Garrett Nussmeier. It feels like after that was – you could point to any which kind of thing to where this season never really got off the ground.
Yeah.
And
it's been clunky from the start.
And I think that's where you can see the sometimes like the quiet part is said out loud where you don't even have to be Michael Cobble. And like whenever that situation happened after Florida, where you had gone out and you had 5 interceptions and your defense played the way that it did, but you get asked about one of your pain points, and then Brian Kelly launches into this tirade of being spoiled. And I think he was saying, like, I don't know if we'll be able to figure that part out, Like, that's where what that came from. Is like, y'all are spoiled, and maybe this isn't as good as you think it is.
Right.
And but you're used to something else. And yes, I am spoiled.
Correct. But my argument, I guess it's not my argument, but like they say, oh, we can't early in the season not being able to run the football. I get that. Against South Carolina, he ran for almost a 6-yard carry clip. Against Vanderbilt, you had 22 carries for 100 yards, right? Which is just under 5 yards a carry. So the last 2 games, yards per carry have been better. You've seen some things that have been promising running the football. Now, against Vanderbilt, you just didn't do it a lot. Like, you only ran 22 times, so you didn't have – you're chasing points. I get it. But it just seems like – and I think you said it best, Lloyd. It seems like when they run the football, you look up and you're like, there's just no flow to it. It's like hidden yards. Like, they run it, and they have some yards here, and you don't really feel like they're running the football, and they run it again, they get some yards here, and you look up and you're like, damn, they average 4.5 yards a carry, but it's like, when did they even run? You know, like that type of stuff. So I don't know what the recipe or what the key that they found for them to be more physical. Maybe it is Carius Kern going and playing left tackle, and they're going to run off the left side of them and just see what happens, and I don't know. Maybe they're going to not do RPOs as much, and maybe they're going to run a different, with the scheme that's been working. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you go at 7 weeks in the season and say, oh, we found the key now, and you haven't seen it before.
That somebody in the chat said this, and it's kind of hard to disagree. It hasn't been 7 weeks of this. It's been 4 years of this. Like, you really haven't been able to out-physical anybody, or it feels like play that brand of football, and you've been a little bit soft.
Well, correct.
And now you
take
don't
away
have Will Campbell.
Jaden Daniels,
right?
That he had a ton of rushing yards, right? So you take away him, like running the football from the quarterback position. I don't know.
It's hard to disagree. I mean, LSU hasn't really pushed people around.
No, they have not.
Here's the thing, especially when you talk about like the RPO situation. There's a world in, like, you understand, and this is kind of my thought too when it comes to RPO. as Lloyd kind of in the past, Lloyd has kind of been like, we need to have a quarterback that runs that system. Here's the thing where you also put yourself in a bind when you have that. As you're running RPO, if the first read or if the majority of your running is going to be RPO, you do understand that RPO, you cannot go down the field at a certain length, right? So if I can't drive off as offensive lineman,
right,
and I'm never getting used to driving off as offensive lineman, it makes it hard to, one, be good offensive lineman, and it makes it hard for you to get a push for a running back to kind of go anywhere. So if that is what the majority of your run game is going to be, it makes it really tough to be a good running ball club. Now when you sit there and that's what you're doing, on the other side of it, it's like, okay, if we're going to be an RPO run team, what is our identity, like true identity? Well, we're not power run. We can't really run it that well. If all we really do is RPO stuff, it's going to be really hard to pop big ones, right? Secondly, if we're not a downfield passing ball club that's really efficient at what we do, where's your identity?
Right.
And that's where I feel like this ball club is right now. I can remember off the top of my head right now, one time where I remember Nick Anderson going downfield for a deep pass, and we attempted that. And it wasn't caught. Not saying that's anything on him, but when you brought him in and you said that receiver room was 8 or 9 deep, I would imagine that there would be more usage out of someone like that. There hasn't been, right? Now you're starting to get multiple with Tradez. You're starting to do more with them. It almost feels like with Aaron, with Barry, and with Xavier Thomas, as if that's the gadget crew, if you will, right? It feels like you do a lot of that. I feel like I don't see a lot of overs and options and stuff where they're working the middle of the field. I don't feel like I see a lot of that. So if you're sitting there in a spot where you say, well, what do they do good? And I think through 7 games or through wherever we are right now in the season, I think that's the biggest problem with this LSU offense. There is no identity.
Right.
What do really well? And that's why I think they've struggled as much as they have.
Not 100%, right? And I don't know, I know there's been some stats out there. Like, everybody loves to be the expert in, like, film study. Like, there's a ton of people out there that are breaking down film and doing stuff. The only people that I, really enjoy who break down film are people who are used to breaking down film, right? Like, Jacob Hester and Flynn do a good job, right? Like, I'll listen to Matt Flynn talk about what he sees because he did it at the highest level. He was a quarterback. Like, he has to understand it more than most, right? And so when he goes and says, look, they've been effective running the football in this way. They've been very ineffective running the football when they do the RPOs. Like, okay, if they can see it, everybody else can see it. Maybe that's what the key was. Maybe he said, okay, we finally see it. Let's not be stubborn and say, we're going to run the ball because when we've run the ball with this type of scheme, this is
the result.
These are the results, right? This is it. When we run the ball with this scheme, these are the results. Okay, let's look at the numbers. We have a lot of data. Let's just figure out which one's better. I don't know if that's the case, but that is
because we said
my only thought.
I sent that clip that they were breaking down to the group chat on the run pass option, and Flynn was very adamant, like, you hand this ball off 10 out of 10 times, and Jared saw, he's like, it looks like what Garrett Nussmeier is being taught is in the RPO, and at least this specific play.
Wasn't a read. It was
he's throwing it.
Just pick it up and throw it.
No. Not that it wasn't a read, but it seemed to be that the run was not the first priority.
Read, yeah.
It seemed to be that we get to the line, we get the pre-snap read. If the pre-snap is telling us that there's 2 receivers out here, there's 1 corner, or there's a high safety. So the numbers sit in our situation right here because there's a backer closer or a nickel player closer to the box. There's a safety so those guys are going to have to go in space to make this tackle. So if we make the block on the corner, we have the numbers game to do it. So it almost seemed like, boom, the numbers, or the idea was if the numbers game is right out there, that's the first priority, not the run in the run pass option. So it almost seems like that. I don't know that that's right, what they're doing, but that's what it seemed like. Right. That's what they're doing.
And listening to Matt Flynn talk about it, he says this is a run 100% of the time because they also had an advantage in the running game. So I guess to our point of saying, hey, the mentality, and they don't have an identity, is, hey, if you have an advantage out there and you have an advantage here, majority of the time, teams are going to take the advantage of, they're going to hand it off and they're going to go because you have the advantage there. But the identity to LSU is they don't have it, and so they don't trust that. And so they say, okay, we're going to go with a little bit of a harder play, with more room for error. The ball has to get thrown a little bit further of a distance. It's not going to be handed off. And I think that's the argument too. It's like, look, you had the ability on both sides. If you had the advantage numbers-wise on both ends, okay. But a quarterback who has done it saying this is supposed to be a handoff 100 out of 100 times, and that's not the number one option in that. If that's the case, then that's a problem, because it's not the identity that has been successful here this year specifically. So I don't know. It is
really tough to be a successful offense like that, period.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, when think about bread and butter runs, there may be some inside zone stuff, but one of those, like, truly popped. Like, really popped. Like, gaping hole, drive a truck through the hole, pop. Not there was a tackle in the backfield missed, or not we ran into the back of the lineman like we did at Clemson, and they thought we were down, so we were able to bounce it and go. Like, when has that truly popped?
Yeah, when has it been blocked?
That's where the problem is we don't feel like, all right, if we don't have an identity running-wise, okay, then what's our identity passing-wise? It's not deep field shots. It's not deep overs. We're not hitting those at a high clip or a high rate. What are we doing well?
Right. Nothing. That's the end of it. So, hopefully the key that they found is the key to Pandora's box.
Right.
Because something needs to be unlocked. Hopefully it's the Holy Grail. I don't know. We'll find out on Saturday night. Hopefully the weather holds off and doesn't rain until later, for everybody's sake, because I would like for the stadium to be loud and energetic, and like Tiger Stadium normally is.
That is not promised.
And yeah, it's not promised.
It's I
would love for I would love for the crowd to, like, be supportive of the guys and not straight up come up booing Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
right?
they booed Nussmeier last week or 2 weeks ago, the last home game. Whenever he was announced on the big screen, he got booed. So I think the temperament is a little bit off as to what I know. People are frustrated, and they're frustrated with, I would say, probably one man, but it is seeping into not supporting the team the way that a home game should feel, as opposed to what happens at LSU is either people are leaving, or that fandom has turned into almost like vitriol, where they start almost cheering against LSU, and that is something unique to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, where it can almost be a home field game for someone else if you let it. And that's what LSU, you would hope, like I would imagine people are like, oh, they just need to start fast, They have scored 9 points. They have averaged 9 points, in the first half of football games. 9.
And they've only scored once on the first drive, and that was last week, and they scored 3 points.
Right.
And to your point of what you're saying, so I don't think people understand, like, for everything that every opponent has ever heard about Tiger Stadium, especially over the last 20 years, they can't wait till they get an opportunity to come and play in Tiger Stadium. If you as a fan base show up in the first quarter and you're booing your own team, they already feel like, as the opposition, oh, we won. They don't like this. This is a great spot to be in. How about we make this place empty by halftime? Like, that's what they feel like. So whether you like Brian Kelly or not, the product is still the product on the field, and you're best served, not only for the team, but for yourselves and how things go forward, is to actually show up as a fan base that cheers and makes Tiger Stadium what people have heard it to be in the past.
Correct. So we'll see how it goes. I think hopefully the weather is holds off, and so everybody's having a good time, and LSU does start off fast, keeps the crowd in it. That's my biggest hope. But we'll find that out. Before we get to I guess we'll do that last. We'll do predictions last of the game. Let's talk a little gambling.
I do have one
tidbit.
Something that has recently popped up on the Twitter sphere.
Okay. X.
Don't call it that. This is from Buddy Show.
Yeah, is that true? I saw that earlier. Is that real?
It's everywhere.
I know, but like how that goes. Like,
Buddy Martin.
Who is he? Credible?
Yes.
Who's Buddy Martin?
I mean, he's a journalist for Gator-Bait Media. I mean, I don't know if you believe in him or not, but it's not like a troll account. This man actually works for Florida. So it's not one of those like fake accounts.
He works for who though?
Gator Bait Media.
But like, I mean, you see all of. I mean, there's always these rumors, especially in these situations.
But it's also not shocking, right?
Not shocking, and at the same time, Ole Miss. I mean, obviously they're in the middle of the season, but the buyout for Lane Kiffin right now is only like $3 million, right? So he never got He hadn't got the extension yet to where he increases his buyout, which I would imagine at the end of this year that's probably going to happen. But looks like they're gonna have to expedite that to keep him.
Right, and I think the reason for that is he doesn't want that to be a factor if he wants to leave. That doesn't mean he doesn't think Ole Miss is his forever home, because he doesn't want that buyout to be a factor in why he couldn't go somewhere else. Also, it would be 6 years, $13.5 million per year, all guaranteed. But it does, because I know a lot of people out there with this Brian Kelly saga, this would be, I'd imagine, the name that's on top of everybody's list at LSU, right?
Lane Kiffin?
That Lane Kiffin would be probably tops.
Yeah, I mean, I think around the fan base for sure. I mean, I like we talked about, I think Lane would be great here. Lane is a great coach. So I just think he'd be great here. He'd be great wherever he goes. It's just you're in a situation right now where like we have our coach. Right? And like I know people don't want to hear that, but you have a head coach. You don't have a job opening. You don't have this would be great. Like there's no space for him right now. Right?
I'll keep saying it too, because I don't think Lane is in that spot where he's a quote unquote made man at this point, right? Like I think there's still a lot of meat on the bone for what people have seen in his career, for what they think he can do, for what his background is. Like, I think there's a lot he still wants to prove. So I'm not exactly saying that. But I do think for a while, the fan base and honestly, right now, the past, the history of what Scott Woodward has done has been big game hunting, right? And I do think people look at LSU, the fan base, meaning, hey, we think right now that we should go get the biggest name out there. And that's all we've been clamoring for. I'm not exactly sure that is the best way to do it. And because of what this place is and how it grows and how it goes, I've seen it in the past. You go get, not necessarily that young, but you go get that hungry, that understands I need to prove something. I'm not on the last leg. I'm not quote unquote a made man. I'm not quote unquote the biggest name that any and everybody wanted. Because of what Louisiana is, because of the hunger and the love for the team, because of what the saturated field of play is in terms of the recruiting that is in the area and in the surrounding area as well. Like, you go get that guy that's hungry, the top of it being hungry, not all the assistants and everybody, like the actual top of it truly being hungry, not set in his ways, wanting to grow and go. It's a gold mine. Right. Yeah. And like it's finding whoever that right candidate is for that, I think is how you make that place go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just don't look at, to your point, what you're saying, Lloyd, is like, is he the top of people? Yeah, it's a wish list, everybody, but
he's on everybody's short list.
That's
right
not.
now.
That's not.
We don't have. Available, he's on everyone's short list.
We're irrelevant at that point, right? LSU's irrelevant in this situation because it's just we don't have a spot. But is he going to go to Florida? Like, is that an option? I mean, sure, it's an option. I don't know if that is real. Like, I just don't know. I mean, we've seen so many things. Like when the coaching searches, like especially big schools involved, you've seen so many different things.
Oh yeah, I mean this
that
is
you just don't know.
Richie Sexton does this every day, all year.
Right.
Like this is how he gets Lane Kiffin paid, whether it be by
he's going to get paid by Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that he is going to get paid.
But I guess the bigger point of it was, if this is the case where Lane Kiffin is, and it's always been the case with him that he's looking around for like the perfect job. And he's kind of had to work his way back after Alabama rehab, and then he gets the Ole Miss job, but he's bounced around, and he's looking for a program where he can win a championship. And if you see that this is an option for him to be available, and the buyout is nothing, and that's all I'm saying is you already poached a lot of talent from Ole Miss, and then you go, okay, well, if it's real that he's considered moving to Florida, I didn't know if that would. In this one instance, does it make you feel like, okay, if we do this now, we can get Lane Kiffin, so we will pay the buyout if we can find it because we don't have to pay very much for his buyout, and now we finally have the guy. as opposed to if we wait again and he has a 6-year deal, like we can't. Now we can't make a move.
Here's the other thing. Here's why I don't think that is the case. Lane's not going to make a decision midseason.
No. I'm saying
not
like
this season.
No, especially right now, right? Like they're right in the thick of now. They're underdogs, which we're going to get to that when we get to their bets. But they're in the thick of a playoff race. Like they have one loss, so like they are in a very much in a situation where they can make the playoffs, and they haven't done that yet while he's been there. He ain't leaving. He's not saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna accept this deal," which is why I don't believe that they offered like that as an official offer. Maybe they've talked about, "Hey, this is what we would offer," and so nothing's gonna be made till after at the end of the season. So yeah, maybe LSU goes 7-5, and they just say, "Okay, this is what we want," and whatever. So. Yeah, like that is a possibility. I don't know if that's going to happen. I also don't believe this Florida offer is a real thing. Those numbers are real because I don't believe that he's going to make any type of decision right now. He shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Huh.
What?
LSU just raised ticket prices for 2026.
Oh, great. Every year they do that, though.
It's just odd timing.
I mean, yeah. Well,
people are real thrilled.
I'm sure they are.
To renew now.
I'm sure they are. All right, let's get to the betting conversation for a little bit. The parlay won't let me email it to you. It's saying, oh, did it go through?
Yeah.
Oh, it finally went through. Okay. I think it's because
it did take a while.
Oh, I think that's because my subject line got autocorrected to beta.
Oh, that would be mean for you to say.
It said like. It was like an error. It flagged it and wouldn't let me send it.
You beta. So it's like a new program.
And I put bets.
And now I have it.
Now you have it. All right. So we're going to start off with the mic'd up parlay of the week. Which, listen, full disclosure,
hasn't been great.
Has not been great. We're 0 for.
Have we been close? Some would say maybe.
I think the first one was close. I think we only. I mean,
we've gone 2 for 3 a couple of times.
But like
never 3 for 3,
and never waiting on the last game. I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think we've been losing the first one.
So,
which could be anybody's pick at this point. We've all lost.
That's it. This one, we're gonna go. We're gonna get it. All right. I really like the pick. I really like the picks that we have.
Well, we do always like them. We're not just throw.
You're right.
We're not. It would be weird if we didn't like them.
Here's the deal. Like, there's been a couple that we don't like. I don't like, or someone doesn't like, but. We've agreed that like we have to believe in the guys that are making the picks, and so you have full faith and confidence in the guys that what they see.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If this is how we explain it, then how in the hell is anyone going to jump on these? We got to give it to them full confidence. That's what we got.
Nobody
should. This is where we go.
And that's what we've been doing, and we've lost. So I'm giving them the disclosure. They don't look. I can promise you right now, ain't nobody following us right now with 0-7.
No, we got to prove it. We're Brian Kelly. We got to prove it.
Backs against the wall, just like BK and the boys. Okay, we got to go out there. We got to come out fighting. We got to be physical.
We got to be physical.
We got to make some adjustments. So with that said, let's get to the parlays. You have it up there?
Yes, I do.
Let's do it. All right. So first game, Lloyd.
I have Ole Miss at 5.5. I was a little bit shocked to see the spread going this way. I don't consider maybe Norman, Oklahoma to be the toughest place to play in the world. And then you have Ole Miss coming off a hard-fought game, which obviously they lose. But it did not inspire confidence in me that Ole Miss could still be there at the end of the year.
They blew the lead, right? But they scored a ton of points against a really good team on the road. Like, that, it didn't make me feel any less about Ole Miss. I assumed they were going to lose that game to Georgia.
Yeah.
But it didn't make they didn't get their doors blown off, and they were in control of that game for a long time.
Yeah, it didn't make. I think there's this this theme around Ole Miss that they lose games and they can't win the big one. They kind of
and at this point in the year they collapse.
Right. That's happened every time.
Yeah.
But I think this team is a little bit different. I love what they're doing with their quarterback in shambles, and the other reason is Matier has not played well since his return.
Right.
So he obviously.
One game.
What?
So only one game, but yes.
South Carolina also. They played.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Last week.
Yeah. But that's when I saw the spread was 5.5, I was like, oh, he must have looked good and must have been like the material that was a Heisman frontrunner, but it was not that. He threw for 150 yards and ran for 17 yards.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't anything that made me think he's on the other side of this thumb thing. And so Ole Miss catching 5.5 on an 11 a.m. game. I would have taken, I'll be as bold to say I'd have taken a money line, but since we are looking for a dub.
Yeah, we need a dub.
Let's just get Ole Miss plus 5.5.
I like that one. That was the one. That was my favorite one,
yes.
too. I like that one. All right, the next one is mine. Missouri at Vandy. Obviously, Missouri has a quarterback that can run. This offense that Missouri has is physical. They like to run the football. Vanderbilt likes to do the exact same thing. They're playing at home. Game day is at Vandy. I am on the Vandy train. Like, I'm going to ride with them. I think that they're going to be the better team. Seeing what they did against LSU, seeing how they've played against everybody else they've played against this year. I'm on the Diego Pavia,
Heisman train?
Mark Lee train. I don't think Diego Pavia is a Heisman Trophy winner, but there's really nobody this year that has separated themselves to win the
Ty
Heisman.
Simpson. He's
Yeah,
the
that's
next
crazy,
one.
dude.
After he wasn't there, they lose the first game of the year. And then ever since then, he's just slowly been putting it together. Now it's like, oh, he might be the number one pick.
I don't even know if it's been that slowly. He's been putting it together. You just always had what that first impression was in your mind. But if you watched him play, it actually looks different. We talk about like, hey, he's supposed to be good or he's going. It actually looks different when he plays. He moves well in the pocket. He moves well out of the pocket, and he throws an absolute bullet when he wants to.
Yeah, he's got a great arm. So yeah, I'm on the Vanderbilt train covering the 2.5. That's me.
This isn't about Alabama. This is about Vanderbilt.
It's about Vanderbilt. Yep. All right, Jared.
All right. Well, the last one is I am taking the over in this Arizona State and Houston game. Listen, 2 games ago, or whatever you want to call it, Arizona State took a trip to Utah and got absolutely embarrassed, having their second loss of the year. They lost 42-10. Next, they got a game against who was supposed to be the NIL darlings this year, right? Texas Tech. They spent all this money. They're undefeated. They're playing great. Well, they said, Texas Tech, how about you come on down to the desert and we'll just beat you 26-22. They've gotten back on track. They've lost 2 games. They were a playoff team a year ago, and they understand where they are. They're going to play this Houston team who has played well all year. They only have 1 loss. This is a big-time ball game for these 2 clubs. I like them sitting at the over in this spot. I think it happens.
Plus 548 are the odds on FanDuel. Let's bring home some money.
Let's bring home some money.
It's a good start for last night. Was a good start for us.
Yeah, you got some back in the pocket.
It's the best my account has looked in
since the year started.
Yeah.
Let's get a dub.
Let's get a dub. Other games that we liked, that I liked, that I
Tickler file?
Yep. That I really want to do. I do like Virginia minus 10.5 against North Carolina. North Carolina is just a dumpster fire. I think Virginia is a lot better than people think they are.
Yeah. And I also think North Carolina is as bad as everybody thinks they are.
Yes. I like the over.
Unless you're Skip. North Carolina not only has Bill Belichick, but a championship offense after 1 drive.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
I think they've scored since.
I can't believe Skip Bayless is still on TV.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, what would he do? If they take him away, he'll probably pass.
Make his own podcast.
Yeah,
and be
I'm sure he has one.
Yeah. Auburn, Arkansas. The over is 55.5. I like it.
Yeah.
Arkansas scores a ton of points. I think Arkansas is favored by 2.5. They're 2-5. Auburn is 3-4. Desperation game for Auburn. Arkansas already fired their coach, so they're just kind of playing whatever. But they've scored a ton of points, and everybody they've played, they've kept a lot of things close. Auburn needs a win. I like the over. I don't really want to mess with the spread there, but 55.5. I do like that one.
You're asking a lot. You want Auburn to get into a track meet. They have done so rarely this year.
I know, but I think with the points that Arkansas can score, they're going to take the bulk of the scoring.
Yeah. Okay. Or
that's
get into a track meet.
What's that?
Or a track meet where Auburn
both teams score, but Auburn's not a team that's going to score a ton of points, right?
No, not necessarily, but they can They were early in the year. They put up 38, 42, 31. And then after that, it's been 17, 10, 10, 17.
Right.
And that's why people want to fire Gus Malzahn.
Listen.
And it also, Lane Kiffin talked about
Gus
this.
Malzahn.
Oh, what did I? Hugh Freeze, excuse me.
I was like, wait, they already did that.
Right, yeah, he's already gone.
Did that.
But Lane talked about this, and for some reason, he didn't mind. He was at the press conference, and he said this. He was at Gus Malzahn, Hugh Freeze. It's Hugh Freeze. He was like, Hugh, I think you need to maybe change your signals because Oklahoma has your signs. Like, it's very rarely do you see a safety crashing in on a slant where he's like undeniably knows exactly where the football is going.
Right.
So like, and to Lane's credit, Venables has stolen signs his entire career.
Right.
Like he did against LSU, and they had to change their signs during the national championship. And so he does do that. He's notorious for it. So,
which is fine.
Yeah.
That's
I think
part
they're
of
doing it the legal way.
Yeah, right.
But it's just interesting that Lane was like,
"Hey, dude, like,
what are you doing?
How do you not see this?
Yeah.
How do you not notice that?"
And he probably wants to keep him in the league so he can beat him every year.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so that one, I like the over there. I know I took the Vanderbilt, Missouri 2.5, but I don't mind the over on that as well. 52.5. Missouri can score.
It's interesting because of how much they both run.
Right, that's the thing. Are they going to run the clock out?
Race against the clock.
Would they both score some points?
Yeah.
You know?
It'll definitely be close.
Alabama, South Carolina, what do we think about that one?
What's the spread? 12.5?
11.5.
11.5, yeah.
South Carolina's as healthy as they've been all year, minus their best tackle, but
Alabama feels like a machine, but if there were to be one that it feels like they're rolling to the point where at some point something's got to happen. Right before a bye week, LSU kind of to look ahead to, and I guess what would that do for you if LSU loses? But it could be a send LSU to the grave type deal if they still care about us at all.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. The line opened at 7.5
and it's
instead of 11.5.
Yep.
So what was the reason of that? Because the starting left tackle's out for.
Oh, I think the public saw it at 7.5 and said, "How is this not double digits?" South Carolina hasn't done anything impressive.
The money's 50-50. 55% South Carolina, 45% Alabama.
Wow.
At 11.5. Yeah.
I wonder if that changed after it got up so high that now you're seeing. That's what I would imagine.
Maybe.
Probably the early bets were on.
Jared, what do you like on that one?
Yeah, I was kind of sitting, and that was the one I almost put in. That was almost my part of the parlay. But I think, look, you got to go to South Carolina. This game's at Williams-Brice. They are desperate at this point. Alabama has been absolutely rolling. A double-digit spread in this situation kind of seems pretty high, right? It seems like if there's going to be a time where I'm not even saying struggle, maybe it is that South Carolina actually puts it together and starts to play really well offensively. But I feel like this is a spot where this one becomes somewhat of a close ball game. And I do feel like at the same time, you kind of get an idea of who Alabama is, right? Like if you're able to go in there and not play well and you struggle and you win, you're like, all right, well, we're seeing here. But if you're also able to go in there and you fend off a very talented but underperforming South Carolina team, then you're like, all right, they're real.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one that's going to be a somewhat close ball game. I just think 11.5 is really high.
Yeah, that's a lot on that one. Getting out of the SEC for a second. Baylor at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is favored by 3.5. I like that. Baylor's going up north. Cincinnati is 6-1. They're ranked 21 in the country. I know Baylor's got Sawyer Robertson, who has been slinging the ball over the field. They're going to score some points. I like Cincinnati at 3.5. The over/under in this game is 67.5.
If it's that high, you should take it.
I always agree with that. Like if they feel like they can't, like they probably want to put at 70.5, but they can't. That's too high. It feels like.
Yeah, you got to beta somehow to look at it. But if it's ever, what's the next closest one?
I have no idea. That's got to be the highest over/under.
I haven't heard of any of them that. I've heard of low over/unders this year, but that's the highest total I've heard.
67.5, but I do like the Cincinnati covering the 3.5. Texas, Mississippi State. Over/under in that game is 46.5. Texas is favored by 7.5.
I can't bet a Texas over right now.
But do you like Texas winning by 7.5? After them going to overtime against Kentucky.
Yeah. Not with a hook. I mean, Texas has been winning close games, but they just haven't. They're kind of in the LSU boat where they haven't looked impressive.
I mean, they're ranked. They're ranked right behind LSU at 22.
Yeah, they feel the same.
They feel the same.
I
think Texas's defense feels different because of the front seven. LSU's strength of their defense is the back half, right? So that's probably the biggest difference. Two Heisman Trophy quarterbacks that aren't not underperforming. Jared, what do you think about that one?
I mean, the Texas score, I think, is actually really tough. I would take the under on them. They're either someone I'm fading at this point, or I'm taking unders on what they've done because they just haven't been impressive offensively. They just haven't gotten going impressively offensive.
Yeah.
And I think when you do it that way, it also hurts your defense because at what point does the defense feel like they have to do more than what they should be doing to actually do what they need to do as a team to kind of go where they want to be? So I would take the under, or I'm fading that one completely.
You've even had Steve Sarkisian come out because he got questioned about play calling and if he should continue to do it. He goes, if that's what I got hired to do.
I don't disagree with him.
I agree. I'm with him.
Yeah, that one's an interesting one. I don't really know where to go there. And then, obviously, I got one more before we get to this one. You got Tennessee at Kentucky. This one's a weird one, too. Jared, you almost picked this one as well. 8.5-point spread for Tennessee. Feels like
it feels low.
Feels low. I know, but that's
a big game for the two, but it feels low.
And that's Kentucky.
I like Tennessee big in this one.
Me too, but that's Kentucky bringing. I know Tennessee and Texas are not. I mean, they're not the same team, but that's Kentucky bringing them to overtime, almost winning that game. Tennessee's 5-2. Tennessee's offense has been really good. Kentucky is known to make you play sloppy, try to keep the game kind of muddy the waters and kind of play their brand of make you stoop down to their level type of thing. Over under is 54.5. Don't really know if I love that, but 8.5 just doesn't seem like it's enough points. It's obviously Vegas is good at it, so but
it feels like it's a bet somebody would look at and go Tennessee not enough. Like you think it would be almost higher. And it's like, I'll take it there. Yeah. And then you realize it's a one-score game, and if you win by a touchdown, you didn't cover.
Correct. So I don't know. That's an interesting one. But let's get to the LSU A&M predictions. Okay, LSU A&M. It is A&M's obviously they're favored by 2.5. And the over-under is 49.5 or 48.5. Let me see what it is on my app.
Nah, but what do you think about that over under?
If the weather's sloppy, I think the under hits because I just don't think LSU is going to score. But I do. I mean, I can see LSU scoring 27. That's not a ton of points. It's more than they've scored all year.
This year,
it's more than they've scored all year. But I can see them scoring around 27 points. Right? Dude, I just I almost want to take A&M, but I just
you can't. Your heart won't let you.
I just can't do it.
I'll do it.
All right. What do you think?
You said 48.5.
49.5, actually.
Okay. 28. 24. A&M.
Okay. And so you think the over hits?
Yeah.
That's 52 points. All right. Jared?
I'm going to take, and look, here's my reasoning. It's not necessarily schematically. It's not necessarily off the body of work that you've done this year up until this point. But for some reason, I just don't see that fire Brian Kelly, I guess, call for grace at this point be even louder than what it is after this week. I find some kind of wacky, wild way that LSU wins this ball game, and it's not going to be off of traditional scoring. There may be a defensive touchdown in here some kind of way. Give me LSU in this game, but give me LSU 24-23.
Hey, okay. I like that. Under hits on that one. I am also going to take LSU, obviously. Because it's just hard for me. It's just I'm with you, Jared. Like, I just feel
the
like
fan base is completely lost. You lose this one. I just don't see that happening right now.
Correct.
Before you ever get to November.
Right. Losing
the earliest it's
losing
ever happened.
at home. If you lost at home, if you lost this game at home, it'd feel like it felt last year against Alabama when they just blew your doors off.
Yeah.
Right? Like, damn.
Pack this thing up.
Yeah, it's over, right? And so
at least that was Alabama in November. This is
correct.
We're still in October.
Correct.
Still getting tougher.
I like LSU is exactly how you said it, in a wacky way. Like, I don't know how they're going to manage it, but I do think that they win the game. I think that they're able to exploit a little bit of the defensive woes or the defensive shortcomings of A&M. They're good. They're not bad defense, but I think they're gettable in the back half. I think that you're going to see some of that. Hopefully, like I said, the weather isn't super sloppy and they can still throw the ball around. I think you're going to see receivers not drop as many passes. It's going to be a little bit better, but it's going to be something wacky. Punt return for a touchdown, kick return for a touchdown, pick six, turnover at the red zone, score a touchdown, whatever that may be. I got LSU winning. 27-23.
50.
That'd be 50 right there. Fuck the hook.
Yeah. There we go. That would be awesome.
That's what I got. No rhyme or reason other than the fact that
it's at home and it just doesn't happen
It's
yet.
at home and it just feels like
one of those.
For every reason you should pick against LSU, it just feels like that's why they win.
Yeah, if you were a gambling man and you weren't if we weren't as close as we are to this LSU program, you would look at this situation and go 2.5, LSU a home dog at night. A&M's never won in Tiger Stadium as an SEC team. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Percentage of the bets. A&M 51%, LSU 49%. Percentage of the money. A&M 57%.
Yeah, everything lines
LSU
up for
43%.
LSU. Everything lines up for LSU to win.
But it's not a huge gap one way or the other.
Public money is on.
The money is on A&M. Yep.
I'll probably bet LSU.
Remember how I was talking about how crazy the lines were for like last week, and like there's so much. It's a lot more in the middle this weekend.
Yeah.
So
it didn't help us.
I haven't put any money on LSU. I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah, of course.
Why not?
You got something to play with.
Why not? All right, let's get to the Seggies.
Ah, yes, mistake of the day.
Mistake of the day.
Happened to cross. This is brutal.
Oh.
It's not. Sometimes I go off the beaten path. This is just unfortunate. Ex-Utah State basketball player Jared Shaw faces possibly the death penalty in Indonesia for marijuana charges.
Oh my God!
He's been in jail for 5 months. Has yet to receive his arrest documents and had his money stolen by 3 lawyers.
Oh my God!
So he's just been in prison for. So he plays basketball there. He obviously played at Utah State. Goes to play basketball at. Hold on, let me find the team. The Tangerang Hawks. He was arrested on May 7th for smuggling marijuana candy. It was a lot, 132 candy pills, but he was going to, give them out to the teammates. He was the one that took the risk, but now there's still no trial date set. He's been in jail since May.
Wow.
And has had no movement, as Sports Illustrated wanted to do a story on him, but they won't let him in.
That's wild.
So there's just nothing he can do. As the wheels of justice move quite slow in Indonesia, and the death penalty is absolutely on the table.
The death penalty.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I didn't know Indonesia had it like that.
Oh my God. That is more than a mistake of the day. That's a disaster.
Yep.
Oh my God. I hope they figure it out. That's terrible.
And Shaw is currently being held at the Tangerang prison, where just a few years ago a fire killed 49 of the 122 inmates. They don't care about you prison people. And he just scored 28 and 12 in the finals. Brutal.
That sucks.
It does suck. That's why it's the mistake of the day.
God damn, that sucks. All right, curtain call. Y'all want those?
Wait, hold on.
What? I'm holding.
Oh.
Yep.
I had it, but I forgot it.
Okay. Had it, dropped it.
That's true. But I will give a quick one. Did you watch Steph Curry at all last night?
I did not watch any basketball last night.
He did it again.
Yeah,
he went nuclear.
I love
and
when
needed
he gets
it
like that way.
It was, and then he tried to get Jimmy Butler to do the night with him, and Jimmy was like, "I don't do all that stuff." Like, damn. But it was another just when you think like maybe some of the league is out, they pull you back in with the vintage Steph, who feels like he can do that forever. Whenever he gets going, it's just impossible to stop. And also good for basketball to have that happen. They've had also the Oklahoma City Thunder go to double overtime 2 nights in a row. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then you have this absolute bombshell of what the hell is going on with the NBA. And I guess some of it's being caught up with the mob is fucking nuts.
Nuts.
I assume the mob was still there, but they're still like very active. I thought that was like movie shit.
Info do you have? Like how you get in touch with them?
How do you like I don't want to be.
Do they call you LinkedIn? Like how you find them boys?
Like that because what made me think of it is, I mean, Jay Leno had to be a part of this. Whenever he fell down the hill, yeah, he got beat up by the mob.
Yeah, that's a wild.
I mean, he's a gambler.
That's a wild situation. Like, that's a world that I don't want any part of.
Well, yeah, well, it's up to you. And then this was the curtain call. Also, because in this whole story, obviously, there's some people that don't take life as seriously as others, and that one person would certainly be Gilbert Arenas. You're going to add his informant lunch today. Because he did get interviewed and he got called in for this also, like earlier this year.
Yeah.
And so I would not be surprised if he sung like a canary.
I mean, I don't think he'd be bragging about that.
I think he is protected now.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
And then also, did you see Jeff Teague talking about LeBron? Where he definitely has like people. He said that he got a call 2 or 3 times when he talked about LeBron, was telling stories like phone rings, no real number. He was like, doesn't answer, answers it the second time. He's like, hey, I know you funny, but you being a little too funny. Like, cut it out with the LeBron stuff. And he was like, oh shit. Like,
and then Jeff Teague
he just talked about it on the pod. He's like, Jeff, you're not listening.
Yeah, like, hey, bro, like, damn.
And he goes, well, who do you think it is that like? He's like, no, LeBron runs the league. Like he makes those kind of calls. He's like, who is he? Like, probably Rich Paul. Like, Jeff, shut up. Like, you're doing it to yourself. Like everything they said not to do.
Jeff don't care.
Yeah. No.
Jay, you got one?
Yeah, it starts tonight. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get a chance to see Game 7 of the ALCS, and you don't have an itch to say, well, what's going to go on in the World Series? It starts tonight. You got Toronto, you got LA, World Series starts to kind of kick off your weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and give my curtain call of baseball.
I like that. Shout out to that.
They waited forever. Kind of forgot about it.
What do you mean?
Like, how long ago was the ALCS?
The beginning of the week.
It was on Monday?
Yeah, they finished on Game 7, I think, was on Monday or Tuesday.
Okay,
yeah.
Was that bad?
Monday night. It was Monday night with the football games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so they make the World Series. They don't they make it to where at least you can have a full rest for your number one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. And it starts like good.
Friday it's night. Not going to be Kevin Gobbs is not going to be pitching Game 1. He's pitching Game 2. I'm going to jump on board with you, Jay, yes. Because I was actually I'm trying to go to the World Series. I can't go this weekend, but if they make it to Game 6. Gosman will pitch Game 6 in Toronto, which is Halloween night.
That would be fun.
And I'm going to try and make it out there for that if he makes it. So, Kev, I know you're not listening.
But, friend of the show.
But I need you to make it there. I need you to go ball out on Game 2. And I need you to bring it back to Toronto Game 6 so I can go and watch you play in Toronto. And I would love
to see a dub.
Love for you to clinch the World Series while I'm there.
That would be excellent.
That would be amazing. So, if that's not too much to ask.
Right. I'm sure he wants to do it too.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, all right, that's all we got for you today on this beautiful Friday night. Or Friday, not night.
Friday
morning. We'll be back live in studio on Monday, recapping hopefully a dub and hopefully talking about all the money that we won from our parlay.
Turn this week around.
Turn this year around. Turn around. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't like watching us, but you like listening to us anywhere you get your pods. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Enjoy the weekend. See you next week. Oh, by the way, Halloween, low, 42 degrees.
Oh.
Love that. Love that.
Wonder if that influences costume decisions. Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Love y'all. Peace.
Come on.
Yeah, we're on
Come
fire.
on now.
That was quick, too. That was a quick turnaround.
Jay comes on here one time, and everybody the show just starts getting back on
Rainbows
track.
and lollipops and fireworks.
Just back on track.
All right, boys.
Later.